Hello all, welcome back to our Freebie Friday video. Today I'm talking about one of the topics in our series called Crazy Legal Tactics, and today's topic is going to be about false dichotomies. False dichotomies are sometimes also called false dilemma, and they're also a type of logical fallacy, meaning a failure in reasoning or faulty reasoning that people use when they're in a dispute or an argument with someone else. It also looks like an argument when you argue that something is black and white, or that it's either or. So typically what it looks like when people are engaging in this is that they try to convince the other side that there are only two options in the scenario and that there are no other options. Let me give you what I mean by that. So if somebody comes up to you and says, you either take my offer of $20,000 or you are going to lose your case. That's a false dilemma because there might be other options in between or outside of those two. Because if somebody is offering me $20,000, I don't necessarily have to accept the $20,000. I could counteroffer them, with asking them for $30,000, or I could just ignore their offer and continue with the lawsuit, and maybe I might win. So it's actually a false dilemma or false dichotomy that they've presented to you. The other way that people would use this is to say, if you did not see me signing that agreement, then you're a liar. Well, we all know that people don't have to see you signing an agreement to be able to prove that you did sign it. And so that is a false reasoning, a faulty reasoning as well, because it's creating a scenario where I'm either a liar or I saw you actually sign the document, when in reality we might be able to prove that you signed something by going to the notary that witnessed it when you signed it, if there was a notary involved, or even just by proving that that is your normal signature on the document and that somebody else, some other witness, was present when you did sign that document. So those are some of the examples that I can give you. There are many, many more. Some people come up with the example of you're either going to testify for me, or that means you're my enemy. So that could be something that not the other party would use that against you, but maybe a family member might use that against you to pressure you into going to court on their behalf, and maybe even giving false testimony on their behalf. And so be very careful when people are using these types of arguments when they're talking to you or reasoning with you. And a lot of the times it's going to be the opposing side doing it and trying to create some fear in you that you only have two of these choices and that you have to pick one or the other, or you have to pick the one that they want or face the consequence, which is a false consequence in a sense. So this is what I wanted to cover today. It's a quick video. You can definitely research more about the false dichotomies that we use in everyday life. People use it a lot in legal negotiations when they're in a lawsuit, and even before they get to the point of negotiation, they might use it. I might come to the table, like I said, and tell you, you either go to mediation or I am going to win the case. And usually they're empty threats in a sense also, even though it's more aptly called a false dichotomy because I'm being presented with only two choices when there might be an infinite amount of choices out there or possibilities out there. So always consult with a legal professional when you're in doubt as to true consequences or your true options. I also see this in the context of people facing foreclosure or collections, when the collection companies call and say, you either pay by such and such date, or we're going to sue you. Well, that could be true in a sense, but it also creates a false dilemma where you are between a rock and a hard place, because you're thinking, well, if I don't pay it by next Friday as they asked me, then they're going to sue me right away. But in reality, they don't sue you for a while, or even if they sue you, you still have an option to be able to settle the case. So just make sure you explore all your options, know all your options, and try to explore the ones that are most supportive of your goal. In the foreclosure cases, I see people freaking out because they believe that they either have to come up with all the money that they owe right away, or they're going to lose their home. And that's a false dilemma that we create within ourselves when we're freaking out because we're nervous or scared. We just don't have enough information to be able to reason through it, fully well. So that's where the lawyers will come in. Get a good lawyer to be on your side, ask questions, and make sure you understand all your options. So this is my quick video for you. If somebody is trying to use those things against you and you sense that they're doing it intentionally to pressure you, you can certainly just let them know, I appreciate your statement. I'm going to have to research this myself and I'll get back with you. Even if they're telling you you have to make a decision by the end of today, especially if they're telling you you have to make a decision by the end of today, try not to make a decision under so much pressure. You can definitely try to expedite your research and your consultations, but typically when people give you those tight deadlines, it's a false dilemma. So that's my quick video for you for today. It's one of the series, as I said, and look out for the next one. We're going to talk about many more legal tactics that people use that tend to come across as crazy tactics. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.